Hey, what's going on? If you like that intro clip and want to know how to do that, stay tuned. Or if you're just looking to mask out the sky, this is going to be a tutorial on how to do that. This is going to be After Effects. This is what I found was easiest for me. You're going to need one clip where the easiest shot's going to be on a tripod. I am not on a tripod, mine's moving, so I'm going to have an extra step. But if you are on a tripod, it's going to be easiest that way. And you're going to want a shot where you got the sky in there. So we're going to jump right into After Effects. Typically how I start, we go with new composition. Call this sky replacement. Make sure it is 1920 by 1080. And then we're going to import our files. So there are stock footage online that you can get with different videos, or you could just have a picture. So we're going to import that into here. This is in 4K, so we're going to have to scale that down first. First off, we're going to do the tracking. This is the step you do not need to do if you shot on a tripod. This is just because it's moving, so we're going to have to track it, and then we're basically going to track it to the background layer. We're going to have to import a null object. Gonna go here, track motion. We're gonna put this on top of the mountain, and we're just gonna track that. Edit target, null, that's good, and we're gonna track that. So if you are shooting on a tripod, you obviously don't need to do this step. This is just because the camera's moving. So since the camera's moving, it's going to be going up, so the perspective of the background layer should also be going up. So that's just basically what we're doing to make that even. So the tracking went smoothly, we're just going to apply it, and there we go. Now we're going to put the background layer in here just to pick whip it to the null object, and now it's just going to track that motion and it's going to follow that motion. So how I went about this, we're going to go in the effects tab. If you don't have the effects tab in the window layer, all these are there. So if your effects tab isn't checked, make sure it's checked. Once you're there, I use the color range tool. I know there is other tools that would work, but the color range tool seemed to work really well for me. So basically what we're going to want to do, there's eye drops over here on the left side. We're going to take that top one and we're going to select the blue. And as you can see, the sky or the space is coming in. And you're just going to click the plus and keep selecting more of the blue. And as you can see, it's starting to select the mountains and stuff that we don't want it to select. But we'll fix that here in a second. So there we go, we pretty much got it all selected. Now how we're going to fix that, we're going to duplicate that layer, which is Command D. If you're on Windows, it's going to be Control D. You're going to go down on that bottom layer, you're going to select the color range, and you're going to delete that. You can't notice it right now, but if we go like that, sorry, that's not going to do anything. But so we're going to move that layer up to about, we'll go about there, and make sure it's covered. So now what we're going to want to do is draw a rough mask just to kind of fix that area. So there's a few different ways you can go about it. You can go just under, or you can go just above. I'll show you the difference of the two. We're going to unselect that just so we can get a better view. So really rough mask here, obviously. Gonna bring that all the way around. We're gonna have to invert it because we're selecting the wrong part. Now once we invert it, it's cut off right there. So as you can see, it's really rough. But what we're gonna want to do is feather it. And what this is kind of doing is kind of bringing, it's slowly fading it in. So you can feather it as much as you'd like, but you don't really want to get too carried away with it. So the one thing with it, you can select So this is a little trick that I learned. If you select the mask 1 here, it's going to select all of the targets and you can move them all together. So if you put it just above, that's going to create kind of like a horizon type of look, but we don't really want that. We want more darker. So there you go. And it's kind of, so that's pretty good right there. So so it's looking pretty good right now. Now what we gotta do is we gotta add Lumetri to, can't spell, it. There we go, Lumetri color. Gonna add that to the top layer. And what we're gonna do here is just kind of blend it together to make it look more realistic, like the two environments are together. So we're gonna bring the exposure down. So since it's the sun and it's got some blue in there as well, we're gonna bring the temperature up a little bit, bring the contrast up, highlights down, shadows down, whites down, blacks down, and bring the saturation up a little bit. Then we're gonna go into the curve, select the blue, and then we're gonna bring that up a bit because we got the blue in there as well. So as it plays through, looks like we got it pretty good here. We got the coloring down. Now one thing that you can change if you don't want it to be there the whole time, you can select, say, right here, and we're just gonna select all these, Command Shift D, and then it's gonna cut them. The only layer that we want is our shot of the mountain, and we're gonna take off all those layers here. So instead of having it the whole time, it's gonna just be nice, the regular view, and then it's gonna transition into our effect that we did. So if you're looking to do this for a TikTok, that's how you do it. If you're just looking to get rid of the sky, that's how I did it, and I found this way to be very easy for myself. You can adjust the mask however you'd like. So changing the mask like this to move it up to create more of like that horizon type of look. I'm not a big fan of it, but you can do it whatever your preference is. So bring it down a little bit. And that looks pretty good there. So I think that's what we got here. So there's obviously multiple ways of doing this. I found that doing it in After Effects was one of the easiest ways for myself. With the color range tools, there's different ways that you can go about it. I had a really blue sky, so that helped a lot. I'm gonna plan on posting tutorials every Tuesday, so if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below and I'll go through those and I'll do some tutorials for you guys. If you thought this video was at all useful, I gave you some good tips and tricks, maybe give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tutorials and other videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.